So everything is fine, everything is so far up to mark. In the last case, all we need to do, we need to customize these text elements which has been created right over here. So if we now head back to our text editor, in the first case, we need to put this thing back into the exact middle of this entire div element. So that is why, as we had done previously while we were coding up our template, our display section of the template, similarly we will be using this time this footer wrapper element that we had created regarding this respect. So we will be copying it, we'll be heading back to our style.css, and here we will be mentioning this position absolute. In the next case, we will be mentioning that from the top it will be leaving a total margin of 50%, and from the left it will be leaving the same. Up to this far there's practically no problem. Now we need to shift this text element according to the total width it acquired. So that is why we will be making usage of this transform of translate, and it will be 50% to the extreme left, and from the top it will be 50% again. Press Ctrl S, and this is a CSS3 code, so we need to copy this thing and we need to make usage of all the hack code regarding this respect. So there it goes. Now we are ready to go. So we have made everything here. We have made usage of this mouse, we have made usage of this WebKit browser hack, and this is the Internet Explorer. So this time we will be pressing Ctrl S and we will be heading back, but we can see that there are practically no usage of it because we have made usage of this position absolute for the container which we are about to shift, but without a position relative it will be practically rendering nothing. And we can see that instead of aligning it into the div element, into the intended div element footer, it is practically aligning itself in the exact middle of this screen, because right now it is taking up this device width as the parent container. So we need to specify which is the parent container for this footer wrapper, for this position absolute to work on. So that is why in defining it we need to mention that position relative property for this footer part, which is the parent, which is practically holding up each and every elements inside it. So we have made this position relative here. Press Ctrl S, head back to your project and reload, and we can see that boom, it is right now within this individual footer element which was intended. In the next case, we need to customize this header element h1. Next we need to customize this paragraph tag, and we need to customize the button element. So each and everything need to be customized. As we can see that this h1 element is practically lying within the footer wrapper that we had created regarding this respect. So in this style.css we will be now defining that any h1 element that comes within this footer wrapper, it will be having a color of, for say pure white. Next comes the text transform. So instead of making everything here into the normal display, we want that this individual text element should be transformed into an uppercase element. So that is why we will be now making usage of this text transform property, which is uppercase. Then we need to customize the footer wrapper h1. We need to customize the font here. So what font about to make usage here? It is the font family Oxygen font, the same one that we had made usage earlier. So we will be using it right over here. And in the last case, we need to define the proper font size. So here we will be making usage of this 2.6 rem. Press Ctrl S. Reload, and you can see that we are practically able to customize the font element needed. There it goes. Now in the similar fashion, we need to customize this paragraph tag here. Let's head back to our text editor, and we will now customize the paragraph element. Here in the first case, we are mentioning that the color, it should be similar. It should be a white one. Now instead of making this a white one, we may make usage of something else, something like a yellow font color or something like a pink or blue or anything we want. But this is the first thing that we will be using here, the color. And next comes the font family. So the font family, we already made usage of the Oxygen font. So this time we will be now making usage of this Cormorant upright font and we will now mention the font size, which should be 1.1 rem. And in the last case, it should be the margin bottom. So what is the margin bottom? It should be 1 rem. So everything goes fine. Let's press Ctrl S and head back to our project and reload, and we can see that this is going to be the result. The paragraph tag itself is now customized right over here. So the last one in this regard is the button element that we had created.